Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarQ Archives channel, where we do VOD reviews, gameplay, patch notes, variety content, whatever I want on the second channel. Today we have some off-tank games submitted by AltCharge, aka Muvvitt. There's no prediction of this rank because this is a GM game. I already know Muvvitt's rank. This is a Grand Masters Zarya. All right. So honestly, if I already know the rank, it's probably going to be less mechanical and more decision making. When you play GM level off tank, it's honestly is bubble timing is everything here. Like timing to deny value. Honestly, you cannot, especially when teams are already at chokes and engaging, you can't bubble for energy unless it's early anymore. You'll notice if you watch top off tank players, it's all about the timing the swings, timing it with your Reinhardt, because inevitably if you're already a GM Zarya, energy will come because everybody in GM shoots bubbles. Not because they don't want to give them energy, but because you do it to hopefully punish an enemy. If you pop a bubble fast enough, a lot of people get too aggressive when they're bubbled. You pop it and then you just punish them for their positioning. Because the focus fire is a lot better. So in this case, this is something to this is just a gameplay stylistic difference once you climb as a Zarya. A little bizarre, but it is. This is just the way it is. So you actually bubbled a little early here, and now they're gonna start engaging. I mean, there's Zarya bubble too. Okay, both bubbles are down. So this is your Zarya metagame in a REIN Zarya mirror. You have to read their bubbles. You actually have the power of a Discord. Oh no, both teams are both teams are running Zenyatta. That's interesting. Okay, so your team is blue for once. Wow, okay. What do you have? Bap Zen? Okay, if you have Baptiste healing, you and your as long as you and your Reinhardt kind of play close together, your Bap should be able to out heal the enemy Ana. This is good. He's already cracked. Okay, you actually win this. Your bubble's coming up soon. Don't bubble around the corner until they're shooting at you. Okay, so once you rounded the corner on the statue, that was fine. I meant, like, I wasn't sure how aggressive you were gonna go, so don't get that twisted. And for anybody else trying to learn here, it's more of like once you I was gonna say if you bubbled before rounding the corner, I don't think that's necessary with their CC. I was gonna say once you cross it and you know, like, you're the one they're looking at, that's when you bubble. So the bubble, because what happens for a lot of the newer Zarya players or the new, like, inexperienced ones, is they'll preemptively bubble and then round the corner, but then it's easier for them to dial back. But once you're committing onto them and then you bubble, that's a lot better. So the timing there is like milliseconds or just a few seconds off for most players, and that's what holds them back. So it was already well done by Muvvitt, don't get me wrong. This is just for a teaching moment. Best place to play in King's Row is probably here, yeah. Okay, so you're going a little greedy on the energy. You're already at 80. You have to be careful depending on how fast they engage right now. I'm actually not a fan of that, but you're kind of lucky they didn't go for it early. These guys are getting real aggressive here. You save your bubble here. You don't need a bubble yet. Good. Okay. So I actually think that was a bit too early, and all things considered. Bell, thank you for the 100 bits. Love the icon. Thank you, Bell. I appreciate it. So I actually didn't like that bubble because, like, again, it's all about timing. You already had the energy. It's more about denying what they're gonna do here. Your Ryan is actually winning the shield duel, and he's actually kiting right now. He's not even cracked yet, and they're initiating with Ryan. So this is what we call the aggressive bubble, where you just do it for energy, which wasn't necessary. I think you wanted to do it to kill the Reinhardt, which I can kind of see. I can understand the reasoning why, but I'm just gonna, like, bank on the fact that this guy won't drop his shield and you can't get this kill. Wow, and he got saved right at the last second. So I know why you bubbled, because you wanted to laser in and break it, but at the end of the day, what ended up happening is you lost your bubble for barely any energy, and then they antied you. Now you're gonna have to play defensive around the corner. Now they regroup, heal up, and they actually probably win this, unless they don't kill you here. All right. So in hindsight, I think it's always safer to play for it to deny value more so than going for the cheeky aggressive play, but oh well. Good. You guys have had a couple of counter ults. You guys managed to survive long enough for that. Now, see, like, aggressive bubbling for energy like this is totally fine because the fight is over. This is downtime. You're trying to maintain it, and then it'll come back up. So that was good. Good. You're farming like crazy. Keep firing up the choke. Good. Time it, time it, time it. Oh, you already bubbled earlier. Okay, there's a transcendence there too. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, do not bubble here. You're gonna shatter. Can you save it for the shatter? Good discipline. Really good discipline here. Then you have to do it there for the swing, unfortunately. And that's a good bubble to save the Zen. So this is actually really well done. So this is more, I feel like I'm doing this VOD review not so much for Alt Charge or Muvvitt here, but more for the rest of the chat watching this as a Zarya player. So this is the discipline I was talking about that you'll notice between like the difference between why someone's GM plus and why someone's not as a Zarya. Do you see the discipline here? Even though they lost the REIN, an average Zarya here would just probably panic and bubble thinking they need it, but he knows that bubble is the only thing saving him from a shatter. This is where you expect him to have a shatter, and I'm assuming that's what he was thinking, and he does. Irwin Smith has a shatter. Look at this. Does not panic, does not panic. I know you're looking to counter the shatter, because right now, with your REIN dead, you have to read the situation. The enemy tank REIN is probably going to look for a shatter onto your backline because you have no shield for it. So your bubble is that shield to stop it here. So this is good. You see? Has bubble here, has bubble waiting, but he had to do it because you try to ideally wait for the shatter to block it, or just try to deny value instead of going for energy as you backpedal here to save some HP. So you either block it for the shatter, but once they bladed in front of your face and you knew he was going to swing on you with a nano, that's too much damage. That's like 200 damage instantly, so you do have to bubble that. So that bubble there was fine. You kited far enough away from it. Good bubble to save this guy. It was good execution. Then you're getting pocketed, so you just kind of waited that one out. That's good. You almost have a grab here. It's actually pretty good. Bubble, grab this. Nice. Nice. Then you bubble to get in there and then go for the melee. This is well played so far. Not much to really comment on. So far, so good. Only one I didn't like was the. I mean, it's not that I didn't even like it. I could see why, because they were discorded. The shield's about to crack. You want to kill their REIN. This is really well played. This is the energy bubble. They kind of did the same thing, but you're cracking their shield. You know they're gonna have to regroup here. I like this. You're playing with the REIN. Not panic bubbling, but you're kind of losing position here, so you have to bubble the kite. Good. You know where they're playing. You're looking around to see if you can bubble whoever Doom's going on, so it's good. At least you're looking around and having that awareness. I know you're pressuring the REIN, but I think you could benefit right there with a couple of secondary fires into their backline. It goes a long way. I think the laser does so much more on the Reinhardt shield itself, but when I think to really min-max the hero, the only thing I can think of right now is like the guy's playing here and you know their backline's here. It's like as you laser this guy, the APM is solid because what you want to do on Zarya is hold laser for a bit, weave in the secondary fire, hold laser, weave in the secondary fire, laser, weave in the secondary fire. So then you just laser the REIN, but then I'd probably shoot a secondary fire in this general direction because as a support, I'm sitting here literally like pocketing this REIN, and then a random Zarya full energy secondary fire from Zarya does like, what's that damage? Like 90? It does a lot. As this Baptiste is going, all of a sudden a random secondary fire flies in this direction and boops you away and does damage. It's going to force you to regen burst away from the REIN. Little things like that to force out cooldowns are like the things you have to min-max at this point. Right there, I probably would have fired a secondary fire into the backline as you're lasering as well. That's okay. You guys probably lost this though. They had some ultimates. They're gonna barrel into you now. You have no bubble. You're kind of screwed. Play this room. Laser to break the shield. You can bubble yourself out, actually. I lied. Nice. But you're saving it. Saving it. Good discipline. Don't need it yet until you wrap the corner. Oh, and they timed the nade. Might be dead. You might get shattered. Oh, you got lamp. Damn, you're getting resources. Good. Good. This should be your game to pop off. Your supports are actually dumping a lot of resources into you, so it's another thing as a tank. If you know your supports are really focused on healing you, like you don't have a pocket, like if you don't have a Mercy and your Mercy isn't AFK pocketing like a DPS, your Baptiste is actually focused like hell healing you. You can probably afford to be a little bit more aggressive than their team right now. Just solid. I'm gonna look for a grab. Good counter grab. Is your Hanzo dragoning? Okay, there's the dragon. Couldn't kill the lamp in time. That's unfortunate. Okay. Number 1 priority. You see the lamp? You gotta look for it. Oh, yeah, the Rhine shield did it. Yeah, you tried though. Then they shattered you. You know what? Nice job so far. Not much to say. Alright, next. Alright, you're looking to bubble whoever is getting jumped. That was fine. Make sure that guy's alive. Good. Dude's dead. Ooh. As much as you want to turn to the tracer, it's so hard for Zarya to reliably hit a tracer. You have 25 energy. The laser isn't going to be locked on hard enough, and it's hard to get secondary fires on this tracer. Other than turning around to peel for bubble, I think you need to like keep the focus fire on the front line here. Make sure your Rhine stays alive. That's good. Yeah, he's kind of dead in that corner there. Good. Oh, nice. That was fine there. Good discipline on the bubble. You don't need to bubble yet. Okay, you get rid of that. Okay, see, I was gonna say he might shatter. So that's tough here. You kind of have to make a split-second decision right here. You know you lost the Reinhardt. The same thing I was saying earlier. When you lose the Reinhardt, and like at this level in GM, you can sniff out when an enemy Rein has a shatter. It's very easy to tell based on the context of the game. That's one of those instincts you kind of get as you get game experience. You kind of just know when the enemy Rein has a shatter. And you should also like keep track of this even if you're not playing Reinhardt. As a backline, as a DPS, like everybody just gets a feel of when their Rein has shatter based on how they play, their body language. So once you lost your Rein, I'm sure you sense that they have a shatter coming up. And once you got antied, you have to decide whether you want to bubble to cleanse the anti or wait for the shatter and protect your team. So at this point, you have a lamp and you're antied. Like, it's easy to say in hindsight, you probably should have held your bubble because you could probably wrap around the corner, survive long enough, save that bubble the entire time. And then as soon as a Rein wraps around the corner, you bubble to block the shatter. You'd be surprised, like, when you watch top level Zaryas, they actually block so many Rein shatters. Bad Reins will not track Zarya bubbles and they'll just shatter randomly. And then good Zaryas keep track of that. And like this completely blocks it for Zarya and anybody behind it. And that the amount, the sight line it blocks is significant because the shatter propagates outwards in a cone. And if you block an entire section of it, like you can actually save so many people from getting shattered. So if you had saved it by wrapping around the corner in that lamp and you bubbled that, that would have probably changed that entire thing. You might have gotten out with energy, wrapped around the corner, your Rein would have been back. It would have made a huge difference. And that's just the difference between deciding when, like, that's all it is at this rank. Is like that split-second decision on the bubbles. Mechanics and everything so far on Muvvitt or Alt Charge is fantastic. Great tracking, good secondary fire weaving. It is all about bubbles, so good discipline here. You waited until they shot before you bubbled. So this is another good example of like waiting, not just bubbling randomly. I can't tell you the amount of gold, platinum, diamond Zaryas that will just like, as soon as they look at an enemy, they'll just like preemptively bubble right now as they walk forward. And this is good. You look at them, you look at their body language, you see how the Rein's looking. Once they turn, once like you know their Baptiste or their Zarya shifts focus onto you, the laser or the window comes out. Now is the time to bubble when that swing comes. You see that timing? Just pop bubble as soon as you saw the swing, not a second earlier. Bubble only lasts what, 2 seconds? The timing is so important, so important. This is good. The bubble right window, boom, bubbled what you could. Got the transcendence out. Now you can probably focus a little bit. Nice. You had to counter grab its final fight. All right, at least you tried that. Good. I was gonna say if you held onto that grab, I would have been really upset. So. Literally not much to comment on. Everything is going according to plan. It's kind of if your Rein's getting melted, it's just your backup is just you saving that bubble for the Rein shatter. There was like 2 times where it happened. And then now, like, as a Zarya, okay, what's causing our Rein to lose the shield war? Honestly, it didn't feel like much because I actually, in most of the fights I was watching, it seemed like you were cracking their Rein shield first. And I think you're actually out Zaryaing them because I think you're building grabs faster and you're just at high energy all game. And now you're running Zarya Monkey, so double bubble. Alright, good. You bubbled him, and then he bubbles after. Nice. Okay, you got rid of one, but you got to wait for bubbles, so 8 seconds. Hopefully your monkey goes in, and he has his bubble first. Your monkey can go in now as long as he bubbles first. If you don't have bubbles, and now you probably call it out for him to go. Oh, he died previous fight. Is that good? You're juiced up. He still has his. Oh, good anti. You win this now. That's good. Double bubble. Good value right now. Good shield pressure. Good bubble after. Yeah, you had to bubble him there. He was taking too much damage. I know you're trying to peel for your Ana. Please tell me somebody else peels for your Ana. You did have to turn there because nobody else was peeling for your backline, so that was a good decision. Kane, thank you for the 8 months, man. Kanade, thank you. Good rotations here. All right, hold on. You're calling the bubbles? Yeah, I can tell. Good discipline there. Bin Sandy, thank you for the reset for 9 as well. Nice, guys. Bubble as he initiates, then he bubbles second. So that's an important factor for playing double bubble. The Zarya Winston is like you don't stack the bubbles. You try not to. It's all about synergy with this comp. I don't know if you guys like double bubble. I'm a big fan of this comp in all honesty. The thing is, you either bubble. You should, in theory, as soon as monkey gets in and gets in the thick of things, you bubble him first, and and then the monkey bubbles second. So you kind of get all that extra shield, you guaranteed energy, all that good stuff. The last thing you want to do in this comp is stack. If you stack your bubbles, you just lose value. Jamie, thank you for the 31 months as well. That's right, you got caught in the grab though. Okay. Okay, so unfortunately you're at 0 charge, and it's hard. So the thing is, as a start, okay, I was gonna say I was about to make a comment on you can't really aggro bubble for energy here, or else you'll instantly lose value. At this point,
have a good stream.
Thanks, Jazzy, for the 100 bits. Thank you. Because the team fight's already engaging around the corner and you reset at 0, you actually can't go for aggro bubbles for energy. You're gonna have to get value bubbles immediately. I think there's 2 ways to distinguish it, like early poke bubbles for energy and then value bubbles. So this is a moment where you'd have to, when you know the fight's already happening, as soon as you come out, you already have to think about what to counter. So right there, like, it's just a reaction thing to stop the shatter with the bubble. If you bubble yourself to block that shatter, you might be able to wrap the corner and give this guy bubble, and he could pop off. Or you bubble your here to this person to save who is that? Ana? Save your Genji, and then you kill their REIN. So you just trade main tanks here. They're probably gonna kill your Winston because he doesn't have primal, and but at least you keep this Genji alive, and you hopefully kill the Reinhardt. So there's 2 ways to approach it. And actually, in hindsight, now that you're watching this, it's probably better to bubble this guy to keep him alive. Just because even if he wrapped the corner, there's literally 4 people staring at your monkey with no primal. Even if you bubbled him, he's probably dead, in all honesty. So it might be better here to trade main tanks, and then you actually get the... And then as you guys play the 5v5, this guy stays alive, gets the nano blade, goes for the blade, your mercy reses the monkey, boom, team fight over. But this is easy, hard to say when you're in mid-fight. It's so easy to analyze this after the fact. Oh, we got nano too. Oh, that's tough. Oh yeah, your monkey's dead. Okay, they just won, straight up. Okay, you're distracted by nano blade, yeah. So actually, the next, I was gonna say, if you can't double bubble the monkey and you have a nano blade, you should bubble the Genji in the next fight. But you know, everybody got shattered. You were distracted waiting for the nano blade, so that's also actually a point that you know, a GM player like you can fine tune, is you don't tunnel vision on an offensive combo. And it happens to me where if I'm an Ana, for example, and my Genji's like, we're gonna look for nano blade, for some reason my brain just only thinks about trying to nano my Genji, tunneling into his position so I don't accidentally nano the wrong person, and then I just lose brain resources tracking what the enemy has. And I focus so hard on trying to go for an offensive combo, I forget that the enemy can shatter me, their tracer's jumping me. Like I don't react to that because all I'm focused on is an offensive combo. And that's like a mindset thing that you can retrain yourself. Ryan, thank you for the 38 months. That's a big sheesh. Very big sheesh. Sheesh. Thanks for the 38, man. Appreciate it. As I was saying, this is another mindset thing that's important for all players, and especially in GM, to always remind yourself to don't tunnel, like, it's easy to say don't tunnel vision, but literally don't tunnel vision on only offensive combos. What a lot of shot callers and players tend to do is they look at their ult economy and they look at their team like, okay, we have Nano Blade, we're gonna look for this and this and this. That's great. But then you also have to remember, okay, we're looking for an offensive combo. What do they have in return right now? Look not only at your team, but look at what the enemy team and what ultimates they potentially have. And that's why ult tracking is important. That's why in professional teams, everybody should do some minor ult tracking and keep an eye on what they're going to do on top of what you're going to do. And if what they're going to do is going to affect what you want to do. And again, just to reiterate it one more time, too many people, you just tunnel vision on what you want to do and you forget about shatter. You don't reactively bubble that. Just off the mark, you know? AJ, thank you for the 7 months. I haven't played with Akawa in a while, probably like a year, 2 years. Alright, good early bubble here. This primal's there. See. Alright, you're gonna have to bubble yourself to keep yourself alive. You almost have it. You almost have it. Alright. That was hectic. That just seemed like enemy team just dumped more ults first. That's tough. They had a lot of ults going for them. Their tracer was jumping your back line. And you have a Pharah in the sky. Again, he doesn't peel very well, and they have a tracer. This is tough. If I'm gonna be honest, I think in a comp like this, your Mercy has to focus on pocketing your as much as Mercy wants to pocket the Pharah, this is actually on the Mercy to make sure your Ana stays alive, because their tracer is gonna hardcore go for your Ana. If your Ana gets focused, you guys literally have no more healing. This is a tough comp to play into this. Also, I'm dabbing for J Gamer. Well, that's a big boot by the Zarya. Okay, that's big. Well, gonna say the bubble for him. Okay. Ooh, the Winston bubble came down. Ooh, and the sleep here too. Oh, okay, and you guys got out of range. Okay. Keep looking. Keep looking. Okay, keep the onslaught up front. Too early of a bubble on the monkey, but it's fun. All right, this is a pretty good game to analyze so far. Could you see how like it's so at the end, at the top level in Grandmaster, the top 1% of players, it's so much less about the mechanics and just so much about the decision making. That's it. Okay, so early bubble for energy. I think both Zaryas are doing that. Okay, so now both teams are going to poke for a bit until the next cycle of bubbles comes up. This is just the way the REIN Zarya matchup goes. Both teams pop first their first cycle of bubbles here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Unfortunately, you guys got your lamp forced out early, which I don't think your Baptiste should have done. Now you're actually going to be on the back foot. I'm already seeing it happen unfold before my eyes. Max, thank you for the 34 as well. Oh. And they get their bubble second. Oh, the REIN's kind of low though. And the Tracer's pressuring there. I don't actually like that bubble there, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that second one. So everything was fine. Both teams are just like trading bubbles, and then this second one, I don't like this one. You don't need it right now. This one was unnecessary. We'll see what happens. That one was fine for the REIN to take some space back. They're going hard with this nano. So actually, I think when this guy's nanoed, like he's literally invincible because nano means 50% less damage. He's got full armor. Their Ana's pocketing. Is there anybody pressuring their supports? Their Tracer is constantly pressuring your support backline. This McCree has control of the hotel. This is already just looking bad. If I'm gonna be honest, this is so hard. This guy needs to die, and then either the Zarya or somebody needs to come around the corner and harass their backline. If you're full energy, you can actually kill like 2 people with 1 bubble. But it's hard to do it in this moment because your REIN is constantly being pressured right now. But like just walking into the swings isn't helping at all. I think in a situation like this is where like just weaving in a random secondary fire into the backline might actually make all the world of a difference. Oh wait, you guys killed their creep. Okay, that's good. Oh, good bubble there onto the charge. Okay, they have window. I would actually flank here. I don't know if any off-tank players would agree here. Mark's a 4600 off-tank player. Because I know your Kree killed their Kree and their Tracer, I honestly, when you're 100% energy, and then your REIN's gonna get pocketed here and he's recharging, he's gonna have to LOS this window. If I were you, I might make a play here and just do this. I'd probably like peek around this corner. May not go on like a full like walk into the backline flank, but like I think you could actually benefit from walking here and just doing something. Seeing if anybody's playing defensive here, might be able to kill him. If not, I'd probably dump some secondary fires here on this angle. And the only reason why I say this, as much as I haven't played off tank in a while, I would notice it as a support in Ana. Every time my team pushes around this corner, always without fail, a McCree or high energy Zarya pops out of hotel and flanks me. Every game. I guarantee if I get a King's Row game today, a top 43, 44, 4500 Zarya is going to pop out this corner and just try to go for us in the back line. You would just come over here and just pop out and just spam. You spam first, look, and then spam if they're far. If somebody, like a support, is playing this corner, they literally die if you walk out here and you're full energy. And then you save your bubble. If they turn to you and they have CC, you do it to counter that CC and you just get a free kill. Especially because you had the kite, but... You don't have to be default. Yeah, you do the same flank. Agreed, yeah. You don't dare doing flank Zarya, I get caught, or the front line gets melted. That's why you have to read the situation of when to do it. So I think in that case, where you killed the one threat that was holding hotel, which is the enemy Kree, that's why focusing on the... Like you hear in the in your comms, we got the Kree, and you know Kree is like playing hotel 90% of the time. This is like free pop out here, especially because you can't play default anymore when they have window. The BAP windows, your REIN's not pushing that because the window was way too far. If the window was too deep, then yeah, you can play default and go past it. But since it was far, I think in that case you could pop out and flank. Yeah, I'll be playing today. I'm just doing the VOD first. It's in the title. I think a flank there would have been good. Okay, that's a very early bubble for energies. You're gonna have to stop it for 6 seconds. Discipline this on the REIN. 2, okay. Around the corner here. 2. Okay, you got it back. That's good. Fine, you're fine. Might be okay here. Good. You guys have a lot of counter ults. Despite their grab, you had a high noon and a coom. Very nice, very nice. Poking before they come out. Nice. Yes. Nice. Probably too early on the defensive panic bubbles, but honestly, I might have done the same in that situation. Holding. Holding. You almost have grab. Poke for it. That's okay. They got it. It's overtime. You guys can still win this. You got to kill in their Kree. Good. I like how you're staying in front. That's good. Grab the other people now. Huge. You're walking with bubble. Nice. Oh, you win. GG. That was a good close game. Yeah, okay. In hindsight, I think mechanics are great. The biggest takeaway is just probably looking for those random side flank angles, split angles. Especially, you have to read the situation for them. I think you said you don't dare doing them, but I think you would actually benefit from trying them out here and there, and then you'll eventually learn when it's appropriate and when it's not based on experience of trying it out, popping out here randomly. Instead of always playing default, it works a lot for heroes. Like you'll see it a lot for Sigmas, Divas, going on like little split angles, not always playing right behind the Reinhardt, and recognizing when that's appropriate is the first thing. Number two, bubble discipline was good for 90% of the game. You could refine it a little bit more, but it was pretty good otherwise. You were holding it and understanding when you wanted to use it, like when you're actually kiting and dipping around a corner or waiting for their enemy shatter. There's a few times you kind of like didn't react to it, but nobody plays perfect, so I'm not going to get too up in arms over that. But yeah, that was good. It was refreshing to watch a high rank VOD. This is one of the highest ranked VODs I think I've reviewed. Anyways, chat, there's no guessing of the rank. This is, what rank were you here? This is GM, right? 41 or 4200? Is it throwing to go on Ana flank to nade from behind? So it's not always the answer, but it's not bad if you read the situation. Similar to the Zarya, like going on occasional unexpected flanks when you can get high value is totally fine. That one was 3950, but what did you peak as off support? I actually think that was better. That if you're truly only at low 4K right now or 3900, that Zarya gameplay was pretty solid. I would say that you could probably climb up to 42, 43 with that. That was actually really good. The highest you peaked was 4250 last season. Okay, yeah. Like that was fine. That was pretty good fundamentals.